Hey guys, welcome back to Floki's Models. Going to be showing you all today how I made these palm trees for my upcoming Sheehaw diorama. So let's just go ahead and jump into the build. First thing is, we need to make an armature. I'm going to be using this 18 gauge Floral wire to make it. These are cut to around 11 inches long. Then using this thinner wire, I'm going to wrap up this tight and make some bundles. And here's the finished armature. The bark of the palm trees is going to be made out of Milliput Standard. It's a 2-part epoxy putty. I mixed some and just start smushing it onto the armature. Once the entire armature is completely covered in Milliput, I roll it back and forth on the table to even it all out. I then take my hobby blade and roll it over the surface to create the bark texture. Now I can put a bend into the trunk and then go back and fix the Milliputty with the tip of my knife. Now to make the palm leaves. I will be using the tips of turkey feathers for this. I tried several different types and turkey ended up being the best. This is an old paper palm leaf from a build several years ago. I'm using it just to get my length correct. It's roughly 3 inches long. After I've cut the feather to length, now I can just eyeball the shape of the leaf. Really starting to look the part of the palm leaf. Now to start painting them. First, an overall coat of Tamiya XF13 Japanese Army Green. How it looks after the first coat of paint. Next, I'm going to lighten the XF13 by adding some XF71 Cockpit green to it. Now I'm just going to go and spray all the edges with this color. Lastly, I'll be using AK Real Colors Dark Tan, and I'll be spraying all the centers with this. Now let's get back to the trunks of the palm trees. First, they got an overall primer coat of black, and then I'm going to be using some Vallejo deck tan and just sponging it on randomly. And this is how it's looking. You want some of the black to be able to show through. Now, using more Milliput Standard, I will be making the tops of the palm trees. Just going to take this ball and just squish it onto the top. Then I'll use a bit of water to smooth it all out. This is some really cheap and really bad static grass, but it does work good for the tops of our palms. It's all being held down with some matte Mod Podge. Next, I'll start adding the palm leaves. I drilled 10 holes into the top first using a pin vise, and now using some black CA glue from VMS, I'll use this to hold the leaves into place. Here's the lower leaves in place. Then after the lower is set up, I can start adding the top layer. How's it looking so far? And after the leaves are all set up, I can start shaping them to the look that I am after. Now all that's left to do is touch up the dark tan paint that flaked off while bending. And here's the finished palm trees. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Go ahead and like the video if you found it helpful, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Also, check out my buddies' channels, Columbus Models and Greg's Dioramas. I'll put links to them down in the description of the video. And as always, stay tuned for many more builds to come.